Hello and welcome to HealthyHouseplants.com, where we teach you all about gardening in the great indoors. If you'd like to support our show, please use our Amazon affiliate link below. Today we are going to be talking about fall gardening chores. So there's a few things that would be good to do right now during fall time, if this is fall time for you at this point. So going to be doing all seasons coming up here too, so that you can check out whatever season it is for you to find out what is good overall to be doing for your plants. Links will be below when they become available. Okay, so first thing you want to do in the fall is check for pests. Of course, this is something you want to always be doing, but definitely check for pests in the fall very carefully, because what tends to happen in the winter months as it gets, a lot of us will warm up our houses so they're nice and toasty. And what will occur is any pests in your indoors will tend to proliferate at that time because it's warm, and also because we tend not to have as much outdoor air coming in during the colder months of the year. So, and that outdoor air will tend to help keep some of the pests at bay, or at least from proliferating greatly. So do check very carefully. This is Humphrey here, who is in a revival series, and I did check him, didn't find anything, but I would urge you to go ahead and check a few times if you can, just to make sure. You can even use a magnifying glass if you're not sure. If you see some spotting or something on a leaf and you're not sure what's going on with that leaf, go ahead and use a magnifying glass or a hand lens to really zero in and make sure you don't see anything moving on that leaf or anything that looks like it's a foreign object or foreign body on the leaf itself. Okay, so you've checked it out, you don't see any pests, hooray. Next thing that would be really good to do is you want to groom the plant. And this is another thing you want to do that will help not only the plant look better and you be happier when you look at the plant, but it will also keep some of those pests I'm mentioning, mealybugs in particular, and scale love to go crazy in the winter months that we're approaching, and even in the fall cooler months. So if any foliage that is dying back, yellowing, that sort of thing, it will tend to attract pests even more. So Humphrey here, I keep pretty clean, but he does have a little leaf here that I left on. So I'm going to take that off. That's a discolored leaf that he's done with. Check around a little bit more. He's looking good. Okay, so otherwise he's good. So now, what you can do once you've groomed them is to give them a little shower. You can do this for a small plant, do it in a sink, especially if you have one of those hand wands that can spray them off really nicely. This is another way to help ensure that you don't have any pests on the leaves. Prior to doing that, you can also give them a nice insecticidal soap bath too, and then spray them off. I have video on doing that as well, so I would suggest that. Bigger plants, take them into the shower and shower them off if you can. Cover the soil with plastic or something to try to keep the soil in, so you don't have the soil going down the drain. You can also tilt them if possible, if they're not too big, as you shower them off. So consider that as well. If you have rain in your area in the fall, this is a great time, providing that it's not too chilly outside. So I wouldn't go any lower than 55 degrees for a short thunderstorm would be okay. That will really rinse them off and give them some really good rainwater, which is excellent for plants. It's really good for plants. I have a video on how great rainwater is for your plants, and snow water as well. So that is another way. So basically you're giving them, they're cleaning them off and getting them all ready for the cooler months of the year. Repotting. If it's not too late in the fall season, I would say right about now, we are in mid-October. This would be your cutoff point now. Within the next couple of weeks, it's okay to repot generally, depending on how cold your climate gets and how quickly your climate gets cold in the fall. If it's very cold right now, I would just hold off and I would top dress. And top dressing, here's some worm compost. Top dressing involves putting a fertilizer, well, this is an amendment. So an amendment such as worm compost or another compost on top of the soil, which will give the plant nutrients. So it's like a mini repotting, but you're really not repotting, but you're giving them, the plant, new nutrients on top. You can also put new soil on top as you top dress. I have a video on that, so that will show you how. So that's something to keep in mind that you can do if you've missed the repotting window. If you haven't missed the repotting window, go ahead and repot as soon as possible. You don't want to repot in winter, as plants slow down growth considerably during that time, and it's just a little too much stress on a plant that is in a dormant state to then repot it. It's much better if the plant is not in a dormant state so that it can start growing right away when you repot it. So that is something to keep in mind with repotting. As I mentioned, top dressing can be done any time of the year, so go ahead and top dress if you missed the repotting window. Promise the plant that you will be repotting it when it's time, which would be late winter, early spring. Fertilize. You generally also don't want to fertilize too much in the winter months, so you can fertilize into November, depending on what part of the world you're living in. So basically into late fall for wherever you live. So fertilize into that time period, just bordering on winter time. I would suggest, though, using an organic food. I have one, this is my product here, I have on my website, link below. So an organic food, at this time in fall, doing basically your last fertilizing until late winter, early spring, it now would be the time to do that as well. So those are the top things you want to do for your plants in fall, and that will help to keep them healthy and happy. Thank you for stopping by today. Please leave any comments about any indoor gardening tutorials you'd like to see. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. And please check the bell if you'd like to be notified when new videos are released.